News Talk Cleveland, WERE, Cleveland Heights, WENZ HD2, and WZAK HD3 Cleveland. And streaming live at blackplanetradio.com. This is a paid program brought to you by Starfish Speaks. The views and opinions expressed are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of this station or its management.
Speaks on WERE 1490. We're so pleased to be here today to bring you current information about the resources in our community, current events and education, hot topics, and ideas to make parenting your special needs, young adult or child, enriching and fun. So we hope you join us today in our discussion. Remember, we're doing a special giveaway today to some of our callers. So we have a mystery number that our engineer has written on a piece of paper. And if you're that caller, you win a holiday gift certificate. So please make sure you join our discussion at 216-578-1490. We hope Starfish Speaks becomes an integral part of your day. And today we have with us Willem Eccles as my co-host.
Hello, pleasure to be here.
And I'm Donna Gilcher. Our guest today is Diane and De Pasquale Haggerty, Executive Director. Did I get it right?
You did.
Oh, yay. Executive Director of Medina Creative Housing and its 4 affiliated agencies, serving in this capacity for the last 11 years. Prior to joining Medina Creative Housing, Diana served as legal counsel to Lakewood Hospital for 10 years. After becoming a mother and staying at home with her son for 7 years, Diane pursued her passion and became Medina Creative Housing's first executive director, working on behalf of individuals with disabilities. Diane has a nephew with autism, a brother with a physical disability, and is wholeheartedly committed to working with individuals with disabilities to assist them in achieving their potential through independent living, with supports and employment. Medina Creative Housing is committed to opening housing, services, employment opportunities to individuals with disabilities that have traditionally been closed. And I want you to stay tuned because she's got an amazing special announcement for our families in Cuyahoga County. So stay tuned for that. So welcome.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah, we're so glad to have you here. And I got to tell you, as I began researching the show and researching, it was like, one more thing. I think you're the most diverse organization that we've had on the show. And it's amazing.
Well, thank you. We've really tried to open opportunities up for individuals with disabilities so that they could explore their interests. They could live independently in a variety of settings. And they really could have a lifestyle that people really haven't really thought of individuals with disabilities having, so that they can become all they can be.
I think it's great. So I want us to start because your story is really interesting. I was reading a Crane's article about, you've got more articles about you too. It was like, whoa, she is a Kiwanis Club rock star, possibly, of all of the articles that have been written. So, but I really want you to tell us, how did you come into this? Because the backstory of how you came to being the executive director of an organization that worked with disabilities is pretty unique.
Well, Medina Creative Housing is kind of unique, and I guess I fit right in. So thank you. I'm going to take that as a real positive.
It wasn't
compliment
that
there.
way.
So thank you. Yes, I guess my path is a little different. I didn't train to work on behalf of individuals with disabilities. I was a lawyer, as you mentioned, in my previous life, and that's really where I thought my path was where my path was going, and I enjoyed practicing law. And then I had my son, and that kind of changed my priorities.
It changes everybody's.
It changes everyone's, exactly. And huge blessing. And when he was two, and I was still working, I was rushing home to feed him dinner one night, and got in the door, and the babysitter had already fed him. And I heard him call the babysitter mom, and I said, I'm done. I can always write another contract. I can always win another case, but I can't get that time back with my child.
You know what? I found that same thing. We had a nanny because I was working all the time, full time, and when my son made the mistake and called the nanny mommy,
yep,
it was like a needle had just been broken through my heart. I was like, okay, I got to figure out how to find better balance.
Exactly, and that's really is it, balance of life. And so I actually quit the very next week, practicing law, and staying home with my son. And where do you find yourself in Northeast Ohio in the winter, middle of winter, at McDonald's Playland, right? With with all the other moms, and of course initially it was very difficult for me because I wanted to talk about the latest case, and everyone's talking about potty training and all of that. And so as you did mention, I stayed home for 7 years with my son, and that was wonderful. And then when he was about 8 years old, he decided that he was a disadvantaged child because he couldn't go to latchkey with all the other kids. And I was.
Does that sound familiar, Willem?
I'm not going to comment on that one.
And so I decided to go back to work, and he got a taste of latchkey. And Creative Housing at the time was a parents' grassroots organization, parents who had children with disabilities, and they were concerned about what happens to my child if something happens to me. What is their future going to look like? Where are they going to live? And that's every parent's worry with a child with disabilities. And it's a 24/7 worry. And so they decided to hire a director. They had a few houses, and they were in the red, and they said, let's hire a director, and he or she will make it all better. And I, at the time, really kind of did some soul searching on whether to go back into law or really pursue my passion, which really became as a result of my own personal experience with individuals with disabilities in my own family. And I quickly realized, having a brother who was physically disabled from a car accident, that your life could change in an instant. Mm-hmm. And his son, diagnosed with autism at 2 years old, that you could be born with a disability that would impact you for the rest of your life and present challenges. And so I really felt that's a group I want to work on behalf of. And so I joined Creative Housing, and actually now it's 14 years that I've been with Creative Housing.
Wow.
We're a much different organization. We have 54 housing units, a variety of housing from single-family homes with congregate living to single and double apartments. We have 18 different programs, everything from life skills training to therapeutic to recreational to direct care supports to vocational training, supportive employment, community employment, transportation, just a variety, a whole host of opportunities. And what we have found is that if the right supports are put in place, that individuals with disabilities can do things that nobody ever thought possible.
Well, that's what we believe at Starfish. All right, so we're going to get started, and we're going to break down each of these segments. So let's start with your Medina Creative Housing. And as I understand, it's a group of, as you said, apartments, one-on-one, single, even communities housing that is interconnected. Is that correct?
Yeah, Medina Creative Housing started out as the housing corporation for the Medina County Board of DD. And the model for housing for individuals with disabilities in the state of Ohio has been single-family homes. Mm-hmm. We have 17 single-family homes. And that was Medina Creative Housing's primary purpose, to develop that housing, to maintain that housing, so that individuals could live independently with supports in the community. Medina Creative Housing has become a parent organization for our other affiliated organizations, which are Medina Creative Living, and we have 3 nonprofits under that umbrella. And that's really our apartment units that fall under Medina Creative Living, and which differentiate from our single-family homes. And those nonprofit organizations are a result of governmental funding because they were built with HUD 811 dollars. And as a result, that was required by the funder to have a separate freestanding nonprofit.
So let me ask you a question. On your 17 single-family homes, are you doing group home kind of thing, or is it just a single family? So if one individual, say, a young adult is disabled, he could move in there even with his wife and children if he chose to get married or whatever.
Absolutely. So our single-family homes are congregate living. We do not do group homes. It is not something that has been our mission. There are other groups that do group homes. Medina Creative Housing does not. We do independent living with supports homes. So waiver homes. Most people refer to our homes as waiver homes.
So what does congregate living mean for those of our listeners that are sitting here going, ooh, what does that word mean?
Congregate living means that you live with others in a single-family home. So congregate can be anywhere from 2 to 4 people in a home. In the independent living with supports world, it's 2 to 4 people, usually 3 or 4. And that's a difficult scenario because everyone, is living, and often situations change. People have different idiosyncrasies, behaviors, and so that can present some challenges to making those permanent housing arrangements.
Well, if you get a group that gels, then they can pretty much stay there permanently.
Absolutely.
What do we understand?
Absolutely.
So it's pretty much a group of people just using their resources, bringing them all together so that it serves the better whole of the group.
Right, and they can share their resources, and they can share services, and yet they can have their independence as well. And again, those are more difficult scenarios because a lot of times they'll start out fine, and then situations will change.
Yeah, it's that honeymoon period ending.
Correct. Which is why our apartment units, our single apartment units, are really in demand. That's where our waiting list is.
All right, well, let's go. That's our creative living, because we're going to go through all of these.
Okay.
So go into the creative living. Tell us what that's about.
So we built about almost 10 years ago Medina Creative Living, and they're garden-style apartments, single, with a few doubles for people who need to share services. And that's really, they're subsidized units so that people can afford to live. And that program, Medina Creative Housing, was chosen as the national model for the HUD 811 program. And they came out and did a video on us, which is accessible on our website, and flew us to Washington for their 50th anniversary. And we thought we've finally found a funding stream that we're going to be able to start chipping away at our waiting list. And a year later, they defunded the program.
Of course.
Of course. So our waiting list, we were able to develop 34 apartment units. And our waiting list is about 450 people for those housing units. 450? 450. And wow. We only pare down that waiting list at the end of the year by sending out a letter, and if families, individuals don't mail back that letter by a certain date, then they go off the waiting list. So that's how that waiting list is pared down. We don't have a lot of turnover, so I think in the last 10 years there's been 3 vacancies. And
wow, yours, I mean, we had Cogswell Hall on, and they were talking about their waiting list is, it's 5 to 10 years to get one of their units.
Well, I would dare say that ours is longer.
Oh, I would suspect.
Wow. Yes.
Wow.
Yes. So, there are single-family homes. We don't have a long waiting list for. There's about 100 people. But in the apartment units where people have their own space, they can go and be social when they want to be social, but they come back to their own private space is really what is the preference.
So it's sort of like a whole apartment complex.
Yes.
And it has common areas, but you've got a whole complex.
Correct.
As well.
Correct.
All right. So that's
we call it a community within a community.
It sounds like it.
Sounds like actually what they called the dorm building I lived in at Baldwin Wallace too, where we had a lot of even communal classes that were from those students that were in that dorm, even in the open spaces, and a lot of community sort of get-togethers there. So
sure,
yeah,
sure.
Well, and it's a nice way of, if you're single and doing that, that's great. All right, so we're moving to the next one, creative accessibility.
So, creative accessibility was formed about 10 years ago, and we found that we had many providers in our homes, and what we were seeing is the quality of care was often a little lacking, and so we wanted to be able to offer another option for families where we could really raise the bar on quality of care, and again, opening doors and opportunities. So we developed Medina Creative Accessibility as the service piece. Again, there is freedom of choice in our homes, in all of our homes, and has been for 25 years.
Well, and it's participant choice for the state of Ohio. So.
Correct. But we did it before it was actually
cool.
Right. It was mandated, right?
Right.
And so for 25 years, we've had freedom of choice. And again, we're an option that families can choose with all of our different 18 different programs that we have. And we probably have 14 different providers in our homes.
Wow. So I have a quick question. So with creative accessibility, is a participant only able to access that program if they're living in one of your homes, or what if they're living out in the community? Would they be able to access your creative accessibility services?
They absolutely can, and they do. We provide services to individuals in their homes, whether they're in their own home or their family's homes, or they're in one of our homes. And they can access our programs as well and choose to participate.
Wow. All right.
So just for a quick second, what kind of services are these that you'd be referring to for this specifically? So could you break that down a bit just to kind of give us a little more specific?
Sure. So we have direct care supports for assistance in the homes where individuals come in. They're called DSPs, direct support professionals. And we're a certified Medicaid provider through DODD, Department of Developmental Disabilities. And they go in and assist the individuals with whatever they need according to their ISP, and whether that's assisting them with bill paying, shopping, getting to medical appointments, cleaning, cooking, etc. We also have a variety of programs starting as young as 8 years old in life skills training. We have a life skills training program. It's a summer camp program, and then also operates on vacation breaks from the school districts, because school districts send us students into our program to continue their IEP goals in the summer, so that there's not that gap of time where individuals are losing the skills that they developed in the school and then have this gap of time over the summer. So that program, I think last year, had about 180 individuals that attended the camp. We also have a dynamic day supports program, which is a day program where they work on social skills, life skills, community integration, vocational exploration. We also have 11 different vocational training programs where individuals with disabilities run businesses in the community, and they provide a valuable asset, everything from a doggy daycare to a hydroponic greenhouse where they grow lettuce and herbs that go out to the community through restaurants and school districts and farmers markets and colleges, We also have a Medina Creative Therapy Ranch where we employ individuals to take care of the horses. Cool. We also have goats and chickens and bunnies and cats. And
all right. Well, before we start talking about those, because I want to go into detail with those.
Yeah.
Sure.
I wanted to talk about the grant to bring creative housing into Cuyahoga County. And specifically, we were reading something about you've been for, I don't know, a number of years on the development board for East 130th?
Oh, actually, we have been participating and looking at different opportunities in that area with the work group. It's 130th Street work group.
So what's going on with that?
You know, they've worked with the Cleveland Housing Network to develop a plan for transforming that area and looking at different groups who might come in and participate in that plan. And so we've been in discussions where do we fit, where would we fit? Is this something that would be feasible in light of the overall plan for the area? So it's been a continual discussion in that area. Okay,
well, is that the creative housing grants that you're talking about coming to Cuyahoga County with?
Actually, no. So we were approached by the Cleveland Foundation, and who's been a partner with Creative Housing, who understood that we have a very long waiting list, and we have people on our waiting list who are not just from Medina County, but from the surrounding counties, and a lot from Cuyahoga County. And they offered us a planning grant to look at how we might duplicate our model in Cuyahoga County specifically.
Call out to Cleveland Clinic Foundation.
Cleveland Foundation.
Cleveland Foundation.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. Wonderful group, obviously helping a lot of different nonprofits in the county and surrounding counties. So we accepted this planning grant. We were obligated to identify a location in Cuyahoga County that we would duplicate our housing and our economic development opportunities. And we identified Middleburg Heights. And through that process, we also had families who were interested on the west side, or on the east side, not just the west side. So we've been working with partners on the east side as well, and identifying location to, again, duplicate our model and our economic housing and economic development opportunities. And that right now is in Pepper Pike.
So, all right. So our families in Cuyahoga County, and we've got a lot of them, it's really possible next year? What are we talking about for them to be able to access what you've gotten? And you guys, we have not even hidden the beginning of how deep the Medina County housing goes, creative housing goes. I am amazed at how deep you go. When are we going to be able to have it in Cuyahoga County?
Well, developing opportunities is not for the faint of heart. And it takes years. It takes years. And again, this has been a process. There's always discussions. It's not only identifying, but then putting all the partners together and the funding opportunities as well. And that's a long, long process.
All right, I'm going to hold that right there because I'm being told we got to go to break. Remember, give us a call so you can be part of the holiday giveaway, 216-578-1490. We'll be back in a minute.
Share the love this holiday at Ganley Subaru of Bedford. Lease the new 2018 Subaru Forester 2.5i, $179 a month, or the new 2018 Impreza 2.0i, $159 a month during the Subaru Share the Love event. $24.95 due at signing on this 36-month lease. 10,000 miles per year, no security deposit on approved credit. At Ganley Subaru of Bedford on the Bedford Auto Mile. Subaru will donate $250 to purchaser or lessee selected national and hometown charities. See retailer or Subaru.com/share for details.
Hi, we're the Sports Brothers. I'm Delvis Valentine.
And I'm Branson Wright.
We're heard every Wednesday from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. on
News Talk 1490 WERE
and NewsTalkCleveland.com. We've had exciting guests on our show, including Charles Barkley,
The Real Deal Evander Holyfield,
Ken Griffey Jr.,
Bootsy Collins,
Dick Vitale,
and Isaiah Thomas.
And remember, we're the Sports Brothers, and
welcome to the family.
Will had a great job. Until he didn't.
I was pink slipped and I fell behind on my taxes. I owe the IRS $14,000.
A double whammy? Now what?
All I could think about is all that money I owe the IRS. I was desperate. I had no solution.
Then Will heard about Optima Tax Relief, the #1 tax resolution firm. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, experts in the Fresh Start Initiative. They've resolved over $500 million in tax debt for their clients. For Will, Optima was just what the doctor ordered.
I was able to get back out of the red, and it really saved my life. I can honestly say that.
Listen to Will.
Hey, if you were in a situation like me, there is a solution, and the solution is Optima Tax Relief.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation.
I'm so thankful to have Optima Tax Relief on my team.
Call 800-279-6822. 800-279-6822. 800-279-6822.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Hello, this is Donna Gilcher of Starfish Speaks. Join us every Sunday, 1 to 2 on WERE 1490 to discuss hot topics in education. We will talk about resources in the community that address the needs of children with disabilities and enhance the lives of parents and much more. So join us every Sunday, 1 to 2 on WERE 1490 for Starfish Speaks. If you have a question, we have answers.
WERE Cleveland Heights, WENZ HD2, and WZAK HD3 Cleveland.
Welcome back. If you're enjoying Starfish Speaks each week, consider making a tax-deductible donation to support the programming at https://www.paypal.me/Starfish Speaks. We would love your support. We're talking with Diana DePasquale Haggerty. Did I get it right?
You did, that long name.
Of Medina Creative Housing. And when we left for break, you were talking about the housing grants and moving into Cuyahoga County.
Yeah, I think I was referring to putting funding together. If you're following the DD world at all, and obviously what's going on at the federal and state level, funding for housing for individuals with disabilities has certainly been decreasing, and there really is not a lot of funding out there. So, and the move is towards integration, which is a wonderful thing, but it has to be safe integration. And so we are currently putting funding together for both public and privatized units for Cuyahoga County.
Wow. All right. So we need to keep listening, and we'll keep you posted here at Starfish Speaks. If so, make sure if you can, when you have updates, give them to us, because we'll make sure our listeners know. All right.
And any family who would be interested in looking at that opportunity certainly can contact me.
Contact you directly?
Absolutely.
Is there a number that you could give them?
I can give them my private cell number.
Cool.
330-635-0377. And I'm a very hands-on director, and I have my phone with me 24/7. Not that I want people calling me at midnight, but but I am available.
That's great. All right, so let's move on the next pieces of this onion. Tell us about these creative arts classes and programming that you have.
So we have a whole therapeutic programming available within our host of programs, or I should say array of programs. And we developed a therapeutic program that's incorporated into our day supports, into our life skills training program, and that consists of therapeutic horseback riding. We're a PATH certified facility, and all of our instructors are PATH certified, which is the Professional Association of Therapeutic Riding. Mm-hmm. And we have 13 horses. We even have a donkey. And
gotta have at least one.
And we have a Special Olympics team that competes at the local and state level and have done very, very well. We've had over 800 people go through our therapeutic riding program. We have 4 sessions a year, and there's usually about 60 to 70 people in a session. So it's a really very much a growing program. We've also started this year a Mending Fences program, which is working with equine assisted learning, where you work with the horse, but you physically don't ride the horse. And that is for different groups and veterans, foster children, individuals in the juvenile detention programs as well. Are participating in that program. So that program's really expanded, and we have a martial arts, therapeutic martial arts program that actually has a Special Olympics team as well.
Wow.
We have therapeutic art and music and even yoga. So that's our arts program.
So let me ask you a question. Do you have to be in Medina County to be able to access the arts programs?
You do not, and we actually, into all of our programs, we actually transport into all of our programs from 5 different counties surrounding Medina County.
Whoa, wait a minute. Did I just hear you said you provide transportation for families to the programs?
We do. We transport from Cuyahoga County, Lorain County, Summit County, Wayne and Ashland at the current time.
Wow.
Okay, so Cuyahoga, Lorain, Summit, Ashland, Wayne counties, you're providing the transportation for the participants to come.
We do.
And what's the ages for them to participate?
Again, we start therapeutic horseback riding as young as 4 years old. And our life skills program starts at 8 years old, and then all of our programs are adult on, so 18
on
up.
As well.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all DD waiver funded?
They are DD waiver funded, as well as there are other funding streams, local levy dollars, supported living dollars.
Can be private pay, too?
Can be private pay as well.
Oh, wow. All right. Let's move on to where those of us that have young adults and those 14 and up on the IEP, it's the transition planning. So let's talk about you have creative transitions and life steps programming.
Right.
So tell us more about that program.
So I'll start with the life steps. Again, that starts at 8 years old, and we work with school districts who send students to us for their extended school year so that they can continue to work on IEP goals. We also have families who send their students for a week or our entire 11-week program, and then through the vacation periods during the school year. It's a very popular program. It's located at our therapy ranch. And again, incorporated into that program is life skills training, social skills, financial literacy, community integration, and the therapeutic programming as well. So it's a very diverse program. Our Creative Transitions program is our new, relatively new program. It started in September of this year. And that is a post-secondary college program where individuals with disabilities can matriculate. Our partners are Tri-C and the Cleveland Clinic Learner School of Autism, as well as Lorain Community College. And so you can take a course of study, whether it's a certificate or matriculating course of study. We provide all the supports that are needed to support you in your programming. And we also have a residential program as part of that. That residential home will be located in Brunswick. It's currently being built. Our ribbon cutting on that home will be on January 10th. And 8 students will live at the Creative Transitions home and will be attending college, doing vocational exploration. There's a whole social thinking, reframing curriculum that we've developed in partnership with the Cleveland Clinic Learner School of Autism. And it's a program that we're very proud of. We currently have 6 individuals in the program, As of January, we will have 10 individuals in the program.
Wow, it sounds really dynamic.
And there is nothing like this in the state. And we actually went around the country looking at best practices. And what we found was there were bits and pieces at different programs, but nobody had put a comprehensive program together. And that's what we've put together with our partners. And we're very proud of it. And I have to tell you that all the individuals in the program are doing remarkable, and but for our program, probably would not have made it through their first month of school.
So
it's almost.
So
go
that
ahead.
would also, at least I would think from what you said, it would include like things to help them learn how to actually socialize and get into more of that college social
Absolutely.
Environment.
Which
well,
is also
correct?
the big stumbling block for a lot of our, especially our individuals on the autism spectrum, who really struggle with that social piece. So yes, we're bridging those gaps for them and assisting them. We're also helping them with organizational skills and study skills and tutoring and the supports, transportation, the supports that they need on campus, as well as supports that they need in their home.
Now, will they be able to get an associate's degree and then is this program looking at them being able to transfer to a 4-year university at some point as well?
Absolutely. The goal of this program is you can matriculate and get an actual degree, or you can get a certificate of study. And Tri-C alone offers 40 different certificates in different areas, which are remarkable. And yes, you can then move towards a 4-year degree. And the goal of the program is that you're going to be able to have choices available to you to go out and decide where to live, go out and get the job that you've trained for, and that you won't need creative housing to the extent that you would have had you not gone through this program, or maybe not at all, which is a wonderful thing. Talk about empowerment.
Yeah. To gain those skills and be able to live completely independently.
Exactly.
I honestly must say, I kind of really wish that this kind of thing had been available when I was starting at Ball and Wallace, even, because I can tell you that was for me very tough time.
Absolutely.
Huge change socially, and I must say there was not that much in terms of support the university could give me or anything. So.
Yes, and I'm so glad you mentioned that, because I don't think many people know that only 5% of individuals with disabilities who attempt college actually succeed. 5%. That's a terrible statistic. And it's because they don't have the proper supports in place that assist them to be successful. And that's what this program is really trying to change, that statistic.
Well, and the only program I know that's out there is the college learning experience, but it doesn't use waiver monies. It's all private pay. It's astronomically expensive. And, we have nothing like it in Ohio. Right. I mean, they haven't even come into Ohio. So, I mean, this is awesome and terrific, and again, will be open to anybody?
It is open to anyone. And again, most of those programs, people are financially not able to access. Our program is something that is something within the reach of most families. And again, it's very flexible. You can come on a residential basis, you can come on a commuter basis. And again, that opens up a lot of opportunities then.
Right. All right. So hold on, because we've got a lot of listeners that are outside of Ohio as well that, looking for colleges and things. So they could apply to Cuyahoga County.
To Tri-C.
Tri-C. They could apply for your program, and they could come and be a residential student from California, from Florida, from wherever, and benefit from.
That's correct.
Wow.
That's correct.
What an amazing resource. Oh, let me tell you, please give us a call, 216-578-1490. All right, next one. Let's go into the Medina Creative Therapy Ranch. You've talked a little bit about it, but I also know that you have some people that you've been training to be farmhands.
Absolutely. So we believe really in creating real life experiences. It doesn't help anyone to go into something that's simulated or that is just busy work. What individuals need are that real life experience. and being able to transfer those real-life skills once they are ready. Often we place people out in the community before they have those skills, and that's when they fail. So our programs really try to change that and provide that real-life experience, again, providing those supports and those opportunities. The Therapy Ranch is a perfect example. Here, someone who's interested in working with animals, there's something magical about horses and individuals with disabilities and the bond that they're able to connect. And that transfers. And we see that and have seen that and see it every day. And so individuals are working there. They're working with the horses. They're learning how to maintain a barn, arena, a farm, working with animals, a variety of animals, and they're being paid. And it is a paid experience. As their skills develop, they're given time studies, and as their skills develop, their income increases. So it incentivizes them. And those skills are developed. And quite honestly, we have people who leave our programs and go out and work in greenhouses, work on farms, work in retail, work in cafes. And that's the goal. We want to get people out in the community, but we want to properly prepare them.
So this is working towards competitive employment.
Correct.
So you guys are part of the Employment First network that we've been hearing about.
Absolutely. Right. And the difference in our program is we have a stepping stone of employment. You can start in vocational training where you're totally supervised working in a group, go to supportive employment where you are working more independently, to then out in the community. We are an employment network through Social Security, Ticket to Work program, so that we can then place you and we can support you up to 5 years in that program.
Wow. All right.
So basically you start them off and actually start to wean them off the needs for those supports within a work environment.
Correct.
Wow.
Correct.
All right. Creative construction and maintenance.
Yes, that's one of our programs. And we have many programs and properties. And so the individuals in that program do everything from maintaining our homes, doing work orders. They're learning how to do drywall, plumbing, flooring, painting. They also assist our tradespeople in building the different programs or different facilities that we have, and work directly with them. So that, again, they're developing those skills, learning from experts in the field. We have
any ability to get their journeyman's certificates or licenses in
they
any
could
of those
become
trades?
apprentice. Absolutely.
Oh,
Absolutely.
Wow.
So what a great opportunity. We also have individuals who want to mow lawns, and they want to learn how to plant and about different plants and how to do lawns and landscaping, correct.
Nice.
And so we have a group that maintains our properties and actually is developing skills so that someday they can go and work for a landscaper. And again, they can secure that position. Not only secure it, but they can then keep the job. And that's the challenges that most people have.
Right.
They can get the job, they just can't keep it.
You're developing those soft skills
Correct.
along the way to be able to allow that employment.
Correct.
All right, creative produce.
Creative Produce, Medina Creative Produce, was one of our first employment opportunities that we developed. And we put together a hydroponic greenhouse 10 years ago when there weren't a lot of hydroponic greenhouses. And that was specifically developed to create year-round employment for individuals with disabilities. And so we produce lettuce, a variety of lettuce. We grow basil. We grow herbs. And we do a few different neat things, actually. We produce about 400 heads of lettuce in the winter, 600 heads of lettuce in the summer that goes out into the community. We grow basil. We make pesto that goes out into the community. We trim our lettuce and we make all-natural lettuce or dog treats from our lettuce. Wow. And so in our pet play, they actually make the dog biscuits that go out into the community.
Wow.
So we try to do a variety of things, again, creating skills, creating opportunities, and, again, being a resource to the community.
And for Creative Produce, it sounds like that was also a pretty unique thing when it first started.
Very.
Especially since I found there were news articles from newspapers all the way out in Seattle and all over the country covered you guys.
Yes, it was new and novel. And the thing about hydroponics in our area, it's very costly. Very costly to run because we don't have a lot of sunlight for a lot of months of the year. So it's a costly, with our harsh winters, it's a costly program to run. But again, our mission is to create opportunities, and again, that provides year-round employment. And we are an asset providing that fresh produce, farm to table to the community.
Organic.
Correct.
All right. Creative Living Coffee. I'm going to try to get the last two micro businesses in before break.
Okay, Creative Living Coffee. We used to come to Cleveland, and we brought a group down who worked with a coffee company to roast beans, and then we brought them back to Medina. One of the gentlemen who was a partner in that business had a nephew on our waiting list. And he unfortunately was not able to ever access Medina Creative Housing and passed away. Oh. And he decided to come with Creative Housing to open up this opportunity for people to be able to work producing coffee. So we have our own coffee roaster. He works with the individuals in our program, and we have the best coffee, I dare say, around. And they roast their coffee, they grind it, they package it, they distribute it, and they run this business that provides coffee to businesses. We have our own little coffee following, and we have cafes that this coffee is actually served in that we run.
All right, when we come back from break, I want you to tell us where we can get all these things. Last one, Creative Play.
Pet Play. Again, this was something we opened prior to doggy daycares being very popular. And we developed a doggy daycare and spa and boarding. And about 24 individuals work in that program, taking care of the community, loving on the community's dogs. It was so embraced by the community, Medina County community, that within 2 years of us opening our doggy daycare, we had to build a twice the size facility to accommodate the number of dogs and the demand.
Did people buy more dogs just to be able to actually leave it with you guys?
No, they just have such a great experience that it's been word of mouth. And telling their neighbors and friends.
All right, we're going to break. When we come back, we're going to keep talking with Diana. And please give us a call, 216-578-1490.
This is Reverend Al Sharpton. Join the National Action Network, not because of what we have done, because we have done much, but because of what we are still doing. We need action around voting rights. We need action around health care. We need action around dealing with the injustice in the criminal justice system. Be a member of the Action Network that's out now, fighting for you. Call 1-877-626-4651. Or go online to www.nationalactionnetwork.net and become a part of the action.
Everything you need to know about Cleveland sports, news, weather, and more is at newstalkcleveland.com. For instant updates, follow us on Facebook at newstalk1490 and on Twitter at newstalk1490.
Are you addicted to drugs or alcohol? Even if you think you might have a problem, call this number right now for free information. 800-610-4417. That's 800-610-4417. By calling the Addiction Rehab Specialist, you're taking the first steps to recovery. Their advisors are ready to match you with a proven 5-star facility right now. The call is free and the information is free. 800-610-4417. The federal government says you can have up to 90 days off work for treatment. And if you have insurance through your employer, it could mean little to no cost to you. This free call is completely confidential. Seriously, pick up the phone and call us now. Our advisors are standing by. 800-610-4417. 800-610-4417. That's 800-610-4417. 800-610-4417. Addiction Rehab Specialist is a network of independent treatment centers and placement services nationwide.
Hello,
Hello, this is Donna Gilcher of Starfish Speaks. Join us every Sunday, 1 to 2 on WERE 1490 to discuss hot topics in education. We will talk about resources in the community that address the needs of children with disabilities and enhance the lives of parents and much more. So join us every Sunday, 1 to 2 on WERE 1490 for Starfish Speaks. If you have a question, we have answers.
WERE Cleveland Heights, WENZ HD2, and WZAK HD3 Cleveland.
Welcome back to Starfish Speaks. We've got Diane from the Creative Medina Housing, and if you have not been listening with us, you got to check them out. She just told us all about produce and coffee and dog biscuits and all of these things. So, where can families buy these things? Where can we get them? I'm sitting here going, organic dog biscuits made out of basil. I bet it doesn't have a lot of sugar in it. I have a diabetic dog.
Made out of lettuce. Yeah, made out of lettuce.
Made out of lettuce. I'm thinking, this would be great for my dog.
Yeah.
Lita will love you. Yep.
Well, we actually can order it online. We also have 2 cafes that we run. One is in Middleburg Heights, where we serve our coffee, we serve our lettuce, most everything we make.
What's the cafe called?
It's called Creative Cafe at LifeWorks at Southwest Hospital, at their LifeWorks Center.
Okay.
And we also have a cafe at Lodi Hospital in Lodi.
So if we wanted to order it online, how would we do it?
You would go online, and we have actually a tab that you would access, and it gives you a menu of everything that we offer that you can buy.
All right, what's that website?
It's www.medinacreativehousing.com, all spelled out.
All right. So Medina Creative Housing, and we'll make sure to put a link on our page as well, so
That'd be
that
great.
we can
Thank you.
do that. It sounds fabulous. All right. I feel like, we got 10 minutes left and we got a lot to cover. So I'm going to push us through, guys. So you've talked a little bit about this life skills training lodge and whatever. It looks as if that starts at about 8. Students can come to it. What are some of the things that we're doing at this life skills lodge? And is it a one-time thing? Can you come back repeatedly?
Yeah. We have individuals that come back every year. And some individuals come back for a week. Some come back for all 11 weeks and then come back during the school year as well. Different schools, all of the Medina school districts send us students for their extended school year. We also have different districts outside of the county that send students to us. And we also have individuals who come to us, who choose to come to work on skill development and recreational as well, and community integration. And that's, again, each week is a themed week, and they're different themed weeks. So some may appeal to, to everyone, or it's very tailored. So one week may be a horse camp. Another may be a cooking week. We actually have chefs come in and work with our campers and actually work on dietary menu planning, grocery shopping, meal preparation, how to store that food safely, and working on budget skills. And we have local chefs that come in and work with the kids on that week. And again, each week is a different theme.
Now, I'm hearing these things and I'm thinking, wow, are you really focusing only on those individuals that may be higher functioning, or are you able to handle students that may be lower functioning, may have significant cognitive disabilities, may actually have impaired language and whatever as well?
Yes, we are an organization that's very inclusive, and we serve the broad spectrum of disabilities. We do not say we will only serve this group or this functioning group or this disability. We try to be as inclusive as possible. And so, again, you do not have to be at a certain level, and we serve all different levels in all of our programs.
Do you guys have speech and language and OT as well within your organization?
So usually when someone needs those type of services and those specialized individual services, those usually come with these certified individuals, and they're provided through the school district or through DODD. We do not have those services on staff.
Okay, so the school districts send out their speech and language pathologist or the OTs, and you guys have no problem working with them?
Absolutely not. In our transitions program, we actually are working with students, OT students in our program, and they're actually assigned to each participant in our program that works with them every week as well. So we're working with them as well.
All right. The last one that I want to make sure that we hit upon, because I was like, what? Creative excursions.
Yeah. So we have individuals who start as young as 8 years old in our life skills training program, our camp. We have individuals who have gone for years and are now living independently who say, I don't want to go to camp, I want to go on vacation. So we started Medina Creative Excursions, where we have planned trips. And we have a whole resident enrichment program for our residents where we have nightly activities. And all of those are going out into the community or the community coming into us. So again, it's a whole enrichment program for our residents and for people who want to come in and participate with us.
Wow. All right. So, here's another elephant in the room. I'm going to put it there. What's your success rate of these participants transferring their skills from your sites into community work sites and competitive employment?
So everyone comes to us at a different level.
Right.
And you know that a lot of what we do is repetitive, and it's a skill that has to be repeated until it's developed. So we have had people go out into the community and be placed. We currently have a site. It's a community site with one of factories, a big employer in Medina County called Automation Tool and Die. Mm-hmm. And that's a work site where we place individuals in community employment. We've also placed people out in Ticket to Work, out into the community. And then people have gone out and been able to access a job out in the community as well at different areas of their choice. So, again, everyone's at their own level. They're progressing at their own level. And because we serve that broad spectrum of disabilities, it's really tailored so that we are getting you to where you want to be at your pace and your comfort level and to where you want to be.
Right. And I know I had asked you this question ahead of time because everybody is, at the schools and families know that right now the big push is getting kids enrolled with Opportunities for Ohioans with Disabilities and whatever. You don't yet have a contract with them, but you're working towards it. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right.
Yes.
All right. So before we end off here, we wanted to get a bit of an idea quickly, briefly, about your future, but also I understand that you guys had a tour where you hosted some visitors from Japan who actually looked at your program. Can you tell me more about that?
Sure. We get calls from around the country asking about our program. Will we come to their community to develop what we're doing here in Medina County, or have done, and are hoping to do in Kaga County as well. And we had a group from Japan contact us through Baldwin Wallace and came out to look at Medina Creative Housing in all of our different affiliates. Because in Japan, individuals with disabilities are not looked at positively and as an asset to the community, and really as second-class citizens. And so we had a group come out from different areas, from hospitals, nursing homes. We actually had the Department of Ministry come out. We've had 2 tours. And they looked at our programs, were blown away, and are really seriously trying to incorporate what we're doing in Japan.
All right, we're getting we're saying, is it possible we can have you come back in January or February and tell us more?
I would love to.
All right, so this has been Starfish Speaks. No winner of the gift card, so hopefully next week we'll get one. Again, thanks for joining us. You're at WERE 1490. Thanks so much.
Proceeding was a paid program brought to you by Starfish Speaks. The views and opinions expressed are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of this station or its management.